4, to appoint Ernst & Young. 5, to elect members of the Statutory Audit Committee. 6, to disclose the remuneration of the managers of the business. Special business. Ordinary resolution. 1, to approve the remuneration of the directors. 2, to renew general mandate for related party transactions. The notice is dated the 7th day of May 2024 and is signed by DCSL Corporate Services Limited by order of the board. With your kind indulgence, we'll seek your indulgence to take the notes to the notice of the meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anne. The first item on the agenda is to receive the audited financial statements for the period ended 31st December 2023, together with the directors, auditors, and audit committee reports thereon. I now call on the representative of the external auditors to present the auditor's report on the accounts.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, the board, the audit committee, and esteemed shareholders. My name is Shalakwe Ojikutu. I'll be reading the audit opinion for Better Glass. We have audited the financial statements of Better Glass PLC, the company, which comprises the statement of financial position as at 31st December 2023, the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the statement of changes in equity and statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and notes to the financial statements, including material accounting policy information. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of Better Glass PLC as at 31st December 2023, and its financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended in one of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, and in compliance with the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Amended Act 2023. I would like to crave your indulgence to see the remaining paragraphs of the audit opinion in the financial statements, so as not to take any much of our time. Thank you.
Thank you. In accordance with the provisions of Section 404, number 4 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020, the auditors submitted their report to the audit committee, which duly examined the report and, being satisfied, rendered the confirmation earlier circulated to all shareholders stated in the financial statements. I now call on the chairman of the Statutory Audit Committee, Professor Kele Badeni Yoshintogu, OFR, to present the committee's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman of the board, members of the board, regulatory authorities representatives, external auditors, distinguished shareholders. The report of the Statutory Audit Committee is contained on page 38 of the document before you. I now read the report. In accordance with the provision of Section 404 in bracket 7 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act of the year 2020 and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Amendment Act year 2023, we have reviewed the scope and planning of the audit of the year ended 31st December 2023, which in our opinion were adequate. We have reviewed the external auditor's findings and recommendations on management matters and are satisfied with management responses and actions thereon. We have also kept under review the efficacy of the company internal control system of accounting. And finally, we confirm that the reporting and accounting policies of the company are in accordance with legal requirements and agreed ethical practices. Signed on behalf of members of the Statutory Audit Committee, made up of Oluwaseun Suliat Abiola, representing the board of directors, and Chief Robert Igwe, Mr. Niyi Aderomu, and my humble self, Adeniyi Osuntogun, representing the shareholders. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Prof. I now lay before you the report of the financial statements for the financial year ended 31st December 2023, and will be pleased to answer any questions relating thereto before we proceed to the next item of business. If you have questions, it will help to ensure that we give the right answers. If you refer to the page of the annual report and accounts to which your question relates. Yes, sir.
The chairman and the office of the chairman. For the records, my name's Nona Ao. And I do know, hence we have you having to preside as the chairman of the company. And with the permission of other shareholders, I'll be asking that a sign of respect for the dead. Just minutes, 1 minute. As a respect for the dead, that those of us who are shareholders, who are here, defer whatever questions that we have for 2023 account and move it to 2024. That, I think, is one of the ways to also say thank you for the work that he has done. For me, though I'm not satisfied with a number of things, but I'm also leaving those questions till 2025. Then I will take 2023 and 2024 position together. That will be my appeal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Are we in agreement with Mr. Awo's suggestion? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I sincerely support what Mr. Nona has suggested as a mark of respect to our chairman. We pray that such will not befall us again in that manner. So I support what he has said. So let every question be moved to next year. Thank you. My name again is A.K. Chibuzo Emmanuel. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Awo. Thank you, shareholders.
Once again, Chairman, board members, my name is Matthew Akinlade, President of Noble Shareholders Solidarity Association. I support what Mr. Nona Awo said with a caveat. We were really grieved with the death of Otuba Abimbola. He's somebody we have known in many fora, including Nigerian Stock Exchange, and he's a very excellent man. So, for that, we can share questions till next year. But I also like to say that among the shareholders, active shareholders, we have 3 of them that have died since last AGM that you had. Baba Shokpeju died in the course of the year. Mr. Anunu died, and also Alaja Kudaisi died just probably about a month or 2 ago. So I will implore the chairman to please, let's give respect to them too by standing a minute to respect them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Akinlade. May we all rise and pay respect to our departed shareholders. May their souls rest in peace. Before we move on, I hereby declare that the audited financial statements for the period ended 31st December 2023, together with the directors, auditors, and the statutory audit committee's reports thereon be received. Before we move on to the next item on the agenda, by virtue of section 2481A of CAMA 2020, I hereby call for a poll on items 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8 on the agenda. Accordingly, voting on the above-mentioned resolutions will be done electronically. Each shareholder or proxy has been given a voting device, and the results will be displayed electronically by the registrars for all to see. However, please note that item 6 on the disclosure of the remuneration of managers does not require any resolution, and item 5 relating to the election of the members of the statutory audit committee will be decided by show of hands pursuant to section 2493 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. I will now invite the registrars to provide an explanation about the electronic voting procedure.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, our regulators, and esteemed shareholders. A short video clip will be displayed now to guide us through the voting process.
Electronic voting devices have been issued to shareholders eligible to vote. Each device has been activated and is ready for use. A resolution will be announced, and voting for the resolution will commence after the announcement. On the voting card, 1 represents yes, 2 represents no, and 3 represents abstain. Press 1 for yes, press 2 for no, press 3 for abstain. Voting for a resolution commences and ends in 30 seconds. Voting results will be displayed immediately each voting session ends. Results will be displayed in shareholding percentage and unit holding. Electronic voting devices make voting convenient, fast, and secure. Thank you for participating in this important decision-making process.
In simple terms, please press 1 to support the resolution, press 2 if you're against the resolution, and press 3 to abstain. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, our registrars. We now move to item number 2, declaration of dividends. The board is pleased to recommend to the shareholders a final dividend of 1 naira 40 kobo per ordinary share of 50 kobo each, which will be subject to the deduction of appropriate withholding tax at the time of payment. I hereby move that a final dividend of 1 naira 40 kobo per ordinary share of 50 kobo each of the company, as recommended by the board, be and is hereby payable to the members whose names appear in the register of members in respect of the year ended December 31st, 2023, subject to the deduction of appropriate withholding tax at the time of payment. Would someone please rise and second the motion? Madam.
I rise to second the motion. My name is Zalaja Sarata Iyabode Balogun.
Thank you, madam. I will now put this motion to vote. You have 30 seconds to cast your vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The resolution to declare a dividend is on display, and the timer starts now. Please vote. If you are in support of the resolution, press 1. To vote against the resolution, press 2. To abstain, press 3. 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 to abstain. Please vote. Voting has ended. We have 100% in favor of the resolution, which represents 478,222,000 units of holdings. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Following the results of the voting as announced by the registrars, I declare that the motion has been carried unanimously. Item number 3, election, re-election of directors. Given that I am one of the directors whose appointment is to be approved, I'd like to invite the CEO, Mr. Darren Bennett-Vogtsy, to take over the proceedings at this point.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. During the period under review, Ms. Oluwaseun Oni and Dr. Zulikat Wura Ola Abiola and Mr. Haralambos G. David resigned from the board. The board extends its deepest gratitude and appreciation to them for their invaluable contribution during their tenure as directors of the board. Concurrent with these resignations, the board welcomed a new member at its meeting of 7th September 2023 and 5 distinguished professionals at its meeting of 9th May 2024, who are expected to bring to bear their collective wealth of experience and fresh perspectives to the Beta Glass business. Mr. Gagik Akparian, Non-Executive Director, Dr. Vitus Chidibiere Ezinwa, Non-Executive Director who has taken over as Chairman of the Board, Ms. Doyin Akinyanju, Independent Non-Executive Director, Ms. Oyinkan Adewale, Independent Non-Executive Director, Mr. Serge Joris, Non-Executive Director, and Mr. Vasilis Kararizos, Non-Executive Director. We will now pass the resolutions for the appointments. If it is the wish of members to save time, a resolution may be adopted to elect directors by a single resolution. Will a member please propose that the election of the 6 directors be taken by a single resolution? The gentleman at the front with the white cap. Observation.
Well, Chairman, I am Madam Christopher Olajide, support the resolution.
Thank you. We have an observation from Mr. Nona.
I just want some clarity around the voting. Earlier, what was mentioned was that this particular item was going to be by poll. That's what I heard. So if it's by poll, then you cannot take them together. Except you can confirm that everybody who have sent in their proxy form have all indicated yes to all the retiring directors being presented for election. Otherwise, you can't take them by poll. I just want that clarity so we also don't fall behind in terms of what is required. So can Company Secretary confirm through the registrars that everybody that sent in the proxy did vote yes for all of them? Then we can then begin to talk about having them by single resolution. But even for us to take them as single resolution, let's be reminded that we have to take 2 layers of elections. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nona.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nona, and thank you, MD. We consider this somewhat of an objection. So we have received proxies. The registrars have given confirmation that there was one objection. So on that ground, we'll proceed with individual elections of directors. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Anne. Thank you very much, esteemed shareholders. I hereby move that Dr. Vitus Chidibiere Ezinwa be and is hereby elected as a director. Will someone please second the motion? The lady just here, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Alayaki Ido Aisosdu.
Thank you. I now put this motion to a vote. You now have 30 seconds to vote. Please cast your votes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The resolution is on display and the timer starts now. Please vote. To vote in favor of the resolution, please press 1. If you're against the resolution, press 2. To abstain, press 3. Voting has ended. We have 99.54% in favor of the resolution and 0.46% against the resolution. This represents 478,557,000 units in favor of the resolution and 2,228,000 units against the resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Carried. I hereby move that Mr. Gagik Akparian be and is hereby elected as a director. Will someone please second the motion? The gentleman in the blue at the back.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ajani Wahab Ajani is my name. I second the motion as read by the chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. I now put this motion to vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Please press. The resolution is on display and the timer is up. Please vote. Press 1 for yes, 2 for no, and 3 to abstain. The timer is still on. Press 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 to abstain. Voting has ended. We have 99.54% in favor of the resolution, 0.44% against the resolution, and 0.02% abstain. This represents 478,558,000 units of holdings in favor of the resolution and 2,139,000 units against the resolution. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I declare that the motion has been carried. Following the results of the voting as announced by the registrar, motion has been carried. I hereby move that Mrs. Doyin Akinyanju be and is hereby elected as a director. Will someone please second the motion? The gentleman in the front row. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Dawodu M. Olasunkanmi. I support the motion. Thank you.
Thank you. I now put this motion to vote.
Thank you, sir. The resolution is on display and the timer is up. Please vote. If you are in support of the resolution, press 1. To vote against the resolution, press 2. To abstain, press 3. Voting has ended. We have 99.98% in favor of the resolution and 0.02% against the resolution. This represents 444,935 units in support of the resolution and 9,009,000 units against the resolution. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Following the results of the voting as announced by the registrars, I declare that the motion has been carried. I hereby move that Mrs. Oyinkan Adewale be and is hereby elected as a director. Will someone please second the motion? The lady there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Mrs. F.R. Ogunwo. I so second the motion.
Thank you. I now put this motion to the vote.
Thank you, sir. The resolution is on display and the timer is up. Please vote. If you are in support of the resolution, please press 1. If you are against the resolution, press 2. To abstain, press 3. Voting has ended. We have 99.98% in favor of the resolution and 0.02% against the resolution. This represents 445,005,000 units of holdings in support of the resolution and 90,000 units against the resolution. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Following the results of the voting as announced by the registrars, I declare that the motion has been carried. I hereby move that Mr. Serge Joris be and is hereby elected as a director. Will someone please second the motion? The person in the front row.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Chairman. My name is Mrs. Augusta Okereke. I support the motion.
Thank you. I now put this motion to the vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The resolution is on display and the timer is on. Please vote. Press 1 for yes, 2 for no, and 3 to abstain. Voting has ended. We have 99.98% in favor of the resolution, 0.02% abstained. This represents 420,330,000 units in favor of the resolution and 90,000 units abstained. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Following the results of the voting as announced by the registrars, I declare the motion has been carried. I hereby move that Mr. Vasilis Kararizos be and is hereby elected as a director. Will someone please second the motion? The lady in yellow.
My name is Shofala Mary Joker. I second the motion.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The resolution is on display and the timer is up. Please vote. Press 1 for yes, 2 for no, and 3 to abstain. Voting has ended. We have 99.51% in support of the resolution, 0.47% against the resolution, and 0.02% abstained. This represents 456,192,000 units in support of the resolution, 2,138,000 against the resolution, 98,000 units abstained. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Following the results of the voting as announced by the registrars, I declare that the motion has been carried. We will now take the re-election of directors retiring by rotation. The name of the directors presented for re-election are Mr.
Thank you, my MD.
Sorry.
Thank you so much. We will now take the re-election of directors retiring by rotation. The name of the directors presented for re-election are Mr. Emmanuel Metazakis and Mrs. Claire Omashe. I hereby move that Mr. Emmanuel Metazakis be and is hereby re-elected as a director. Will someone please second the motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Second the motion. I hereby second the motion.
Thank you. Your name, please.
Oh, Tunde Aketekwe, sorry.
Thank you. I now put this motion to vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The resolution is on display and the timer is on. Please vote. If you are in support of the resolution, please press 1. To vote against the resolution, press 2. To abstain, press 3. Voting has ended. We have 99.50% in support of the resolution, 0.48% against the resolution, and 0.02% abstained. This represents 443,318,000 units in favor of the resolution, 2,139,000 against the resolution, 9,800,000 units abstained. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Following the results of the voting as announced by the registrars, I declare that the motion has been carried. I hereby move that Mrs. Claire Omashe be and is hereby re-elected as a director. Will someone please second the motion?
Thank you very much. I, Mrs. Okafor Ruth, second the motion.
Thank you. I now put this motion to vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The resolution is on display and the timer is up. Please vote. Press 1 for yes, 2 for no, and 3 to abstain. The timer is still up. Press 1 to support the resolution, 2 to vote against, and 3 to abstain. Voting has ended. We have 99.55% in favor of the resolution, 0.44% against the resolution, which translates to 478,581,000 units in support of the resolution, 2,137,000 units against the resolution, 8,000 units abstained. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Following the results of the voting as announced by the registrars, I declare that the motion has been carried. Thank you, distinguished shareholders, for your vote of confidence in the directors who have just been elected and re-elected, including myself. We now move to item number 4, the remuneration of auditors. The next item on the agenda is to authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors, Ernst & Young, who have indicated their willingness to continue in office as the company's auditors and are reappointed auditors for the ensuing year without any resolution being passed. A resolution is, however, required to authorize the directors to fix their remuneration by virtue of Section 401, subsection 2 of CAMA 2020. I hereby move that the directors be and are hereby authorized to fix the remuneration and expenses of the auditors for the year ending 31st December 2024. Will someone please rise and second the motion?
Chair, I second that motion. My name is A.K. Chibuzo Emmanuel. Thank you.
Thank you. I now put this motion to vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The resolution is on display and the timer is up. Please vote. Press 1 for yes, 2 for no, and 3 to abstain. The timer is still up. If you are in support of the resolution, please press 1. To vote against the resolution, press 2. To abstain, press 3. Voting has ended. We have 99.98% in favor of the resolution, 0.02% abstained. This translates to 480,734,000 units in support of the resolution and 99,000 units abstained. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Following the results of the voting as announced by the registrar, I declare that the motion has been carried. Item number 5, election of members of the statutory audit. The next is on the election of members of the statutory audit committee. Section 404, subsection 3 of CAMA 2020 provides that the public company shall appoint an audit committee comprising of 3 members, representatives of the shareholders and 2 non-executive directors. Only 3 valid nominations were received within the statutory time limit. There being no other valid nominations received, the following shareholders who are members of the statutory audit committee are returned unopposed. Professor Caleb Adeni Yoshintogun, OFR. Chief Robert I. Igwe. And Town Planner Ni Aderehumu. The following directors have been appointed to represent the board on the statutory audit committee. Mrs. Claire Omasheye. And Mrs. Oyinkan Adewale. Since the 3 representatives of the shareholders have been returned unopposed and the board has nominated 2 directors, I now move that Professor Caleb Adeni Oshintogun, OFR, Chief Robert I. Igwe, and Mr. Niyi Aderomu, Mrs. Claire Omashe, and Mrs. Oyinkan Adewale be and are hereby elected members of the Statutory Audit Committee pursuant to Section 406, subsection 6 of CAMA, to serve on the Statutory Audit Committee until the conclusion of the next annual general meeting. Will someone please rise and second the motion?
I, Matthew Akelade, I second that motion. Thank you.
Thank you. I now put this motion to vote. There's a need for vote. I'll go through it. Will all those in favor of this motion signify by raising their hands or admission cards? Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I declare that the motion has been carried unanimously. Thank you. We'll now move to the next item, which is the disclosure of remuneration of managers of the company. Section 257 and 238 of CAMA 2020 requires the disclosure of the remuneration of the managers of the company. Section 257 of CAMA 2020 specifically provides that the compensation for the managers of the business must be disclosed to members at the general meeting. I would like to draw your attention to the remuneration of managers of the company reported in the audited financial statements of the company as a total of 184 million. This is a disclosure requirement and no resolution is required to be taken on this item. We now move to the special business of the day, remuneration of directors. I'd like to invite the MD CEO again to take over the proceedings on this agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The next item on the agenda is to approve the remuneration of the directors. I hereby request a member to move the motion for the approval of the remuneration of the non-executive directors for the financial year 2024. Sorry, Mr. Shankar, can you respond?
I didn't get the question, please.
Remuneration of directors.
The remuneration of the directors has been fixed based on the changes in the environment, economic conditions, etc. In the year 2022, the total remuneration was approximately 52 million naira, and then the revised package would be about 84 million naira.
Thank you.
What I mentioned was for the total of all the directors who are eligible for the remuneration.
Thank you. Will someone please rise and second the motion? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ayodele Adu is my name. I so support the motion.
Thank you. I now put this motion to vote.
Thank you, sir. The resolution is on display and the timer starts now. Please vote. If you are in support of the resolution, please press 1. If you are against the resolution, press 2. To abstain, press 3. Voting has ended. We have 99.98% in favor of the resolution, 0.02% abstained. This represents 431,153 units of shareholdings in favor of the resolution, 1,000 units against the resolution, 103,000 units abstained. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Following the results of the voting as announced by the registrars, I declare that the motion has been carried. Now I'd like to hand back to the chairman.
Thank you, my MD. Thank you, shareholders, for your approval. The next item on the agenda is to renew the general mandate for related party transactions. I hereby request a member to move the motion for the renewal of the general mandate for related party transactions. Yes.
I, Chief Timothy Adesina, I so move.
Thank you. Will someone please second the motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I so second. My name is Alayaki Ido.
Thank you. I now put this motion to vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Please note that interested parties are not eligible to vote on this resolution. Those are the major shareholders. They are not eligible to vote on this resolution. Thank you. The resolution is on display and the timer is up. Please vote. To support the resolution, please press 1. If you are against the resolution, press 2. To abstain, press 3. Voting has ended. We have 99.83% in favor of the resolution, 0.16% abstain. This represents 60,456,000 units in favor of the resolution, 2,000 units against the resolution, 98,000 units abstained. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Following the results of the voting as announced by the registrars, I declare that the motion has been carried. Distinguished shareholders, ladies and gentlemen, having dealt with all the matters on the agenda for which proper notice was given, we have come to the end of this general meeting. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to thank you very much for your time and contributions. I wish you all God's blessings and safe journeys back home. Can someone, a Muslim brother or sister, say the closing prayer for us?
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Almighty Allah, be with every one of us and save us back to our destination. And by grace of Almighty God, inshallah, next year will be a profitability. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amen. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. Sallu ala nabi karim.
Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Nigeria, be healthy, our own dear native land. The tribes of Medieval, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace or battle honored, and this we count as gain. To be